So a while back, I met Dwayne and Dawna on a boat called the Dawn Ray while I was in Port Angeles, Washington. They brought me on board, fed me breakfast, and talked to me about how they raised their kids on board while sailing around the Pacific Northwest on this beautiful hand-built wooden ship. And I wanted to share it with you guys. So bear in mind, I had no preparation for this whatsoever. I happened across these people. Very happy I did, but I had no idea I was going to be doing this. So it's all spur of the moment. I don't have a wide angle lens on the camera. As a matter of fact, I don't even have the camera set up the way I wanted it to be set up. So just bear that in mind and enjoy the tour.
Years. I mean, the boat went to water in '79, so that's been a lot of years ago. This is a different hatch. I just replaced that. I just built that. That's the first trip we've had the helm seat there. But one of the things that attracted us to this boat was the beam. It's got a 13-foot beam, and with the flush deck, even though it doesn't give you the comfort of the cockpit up there in seas, it gives you a nice living space down below.
It's wide.
Yeah, beamy. The full transom also gives you good space.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is already bigger than my first apartment.
It's my second engine. The first one was much smaller.
How far away has she ever been from her home port?
Well, boy, not that far. We're in northwest. I'll tell you, when we leave, and when I was much younger, building this boat, you have some of those thoughts of being anchored in tropical locations and all of that. But we are so in love with the Northwest here that when we leave, we're headed to inland waters of British Columbia and Desolation Sound and those locations, and we've been we wouldn't have a boat like this if we didn't build it, so we're working people that have we're retired now, but it's like we never did have well, we had vacation and that was it, and we'd save it up, and boy, the most we'd get really was 6 weeks, was at the end, towards the end of our careers, where we'd have 6 weeks, and so we haven't gone to Mexico or anything like that.
I think, well, from what I can gather, there's so much good sailing up here.
Yeah.
There's so much good sailing. This is the Caribbean, just not tropical. This might be better than the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the trees better than coconuts, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and that's the truth. Like, this is, there's a million places to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
literally.
Yeah.
Literally,
that's
and
exactly
you
right.
sail a lifetime up here, and you're still dropping your hook in places you've never been before, and the majesty of things like Mount Addington up in British Columbia, Pendrell Sound, where you have mountain peaks that are snow-capped and glaciers, and as short as 7 miles, and the height of those things are, I don't know how many thousand feet they are, and it plummets to depths that are greater than 2,000 feet, just so you have that fjord as you get up north, and snow-capped, and
The topography out here is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It is.
I try to envision this place with no water in it. We're basically sitting in
yeah,
an extremely deep V-shaped crevice
Yeah.
everywhere. And like,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I'm looking at the charts on the East Coast. All the charts are in feet, especially in the Chesapeake Bay. It's 25 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, and then they dredge it for the aircraft carriers coming and going and whatever.
Right.
And it's 40 feet in there, and
right.
but it stays shallow. And then here, I was looking at the depth sounder, and it's 500 feet. And I'm like, man, your depth sounder goes down that far? He's like, it does, and that's really good. I'm like, well, the chart says it's, like 25 feet. What's going on? He goes, no, that's fathoms. And I'm like, what? I couldn't. And I'm like, it's so deep here that they can't put triple digits on the charts because it would just cover the whole chart. The whole chart would be nothing but numbers.
Exactly,
It's so deep here.
Yeah.
It's cold and deep.
Cold. Yeah. But then there's some phenomena. Pendrell Sound is kind of halfway up Vancouver Island, and it's at the confluence of the tide, the tidal influence. It's right at the confluence. So if you go north of Pendrell Sound, an ebb flow flows north around the north end of Vancouver, and south of Pendrell Sound, an ebb flow flows south. And so Pendrell Sound sits there right at that confluence, and it literally just simply rises, and there's no current in there on the top.
Just pushes all the water
15,
in.
20 feet, all the current is underneath. And so that top surface is just rising. There's no current in there.
They said there's weird riptides in there. That there was like weird riptides all around there.
Pendrell Sound?
Yeah.
Out of Pendrell Sound, boy, we didn't experience that at all. And one of the things that the phenomena is that you get up in there, the water temperature 70 degrees because it sits on the surface during the sun and it doesn't flow out. It doesn't have the tidal flow, and it just, the sun warms it, and you're swimming in 70-degree water in Pendrell Sound. You get outside of Pendrell Sound and you'll get hypothermia if you're in very long at all.
That's
and
incredible.
it makes it the primary spot for oyster spat, if you're familiar. That's what oyster farmers need to generate an oyster farm. It's prime area, and it supplies far and wide oyster farms because of the uniqueness of that that tidal influence there. And what a place to drop your anchor and go ashore. And it literally takes me 10 minutes to get more oysters than we can eat. And the only reason it takes me 10 minutes because I'm looking for the ones that are just the right size, that are not too big.
You can get picky.
They're not too small.
I'm from the desert, so if I get my hands on oysters, I just eat them all. I don't care what they are. I love them. I actually, since I went up here, I haven't had any. Now that I think about it, I'm missing out.
Goodness.
Well,
You're gonna
CN
fix
ones,
that.
we can't get them. They're there, you can get, but they're not as abundant as they are further north. Just littering the
just
beach. It's just
unbelievable.
really unbelievable, and we love oysters and have them every which way. You can come forward if you want and check out. This is down here.
Yeah, you're kind of tall.
Yeah. Nope. I did it anyway.
This is kind of where we would hang out during the winters when we were on the Oregon coast living aboard, and winters can be harsh and cold, and we got the little wood stove. That was our heat, and so we kind of call this our library. But
Oh, this is great. I always like these racks up here.
I have that bunk right there. You see this rail? It took me years. I looked at this and I wanted to design something. This rail lifts out and it comes and rests here and over there.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
And underneath here are the boards that fit in. So this actually can make into a double bunk up here if we have guests. And that was something I thought about for years. That's the thing about having a boat like this for years. There are projects that you look at, you think through, and finally it kind of comes together on how you're going to do it. And that was a fun addition, more recent.
And this is just access to behind the galley stuff?
Yeah, that's electronics,
Stowage under all here. And
Yeah.
Yep.
All my tankage is on the keel. Draw 7 feet. Boat is
Your keel's got a 7-foot draft?
7-foot draft. It's full
Ooh.
keel. Full keel.
Oh, it's, as it should be on a boat like this.
Yeah. We are 46,000 pounds, 23 ton. I got 12,000 pounds of ballast. So it's a heavy displacement boat. And come on forward here. And this is our stateroom. But people think that's a small bunk, but we fit in there so perfectly.
Yeah.
Over the years, it absolutely is a wonderful, comfortable place for us.
Oh, look at that! This little handheld.
What, the little
Yeah.
monkey fist?
Yeah.
Those are what hold up the. Well, I'll show you here. I got those everywhere. They just come up and keep the ports.
Oh, look at that!
Open like that. Yeah. This was the kids. I'll get out of your way, but
Oh, they put them in the V berth, huh?
up in the V berth, port and starboard. That was their bunks. And when they got a little bit older, Jordan continued to be his room forward here. And Steph, we put her in the library. They kind of had their own area. Where the wood stove is where her bunk was.
Yeah, this is great. Oh.
Well, you're blessed to be able to have a wife that is gifted and skilled and allows you to go off on these adventures.
She's gonna hear it. She's gonna get a real big head. She already knows what she's got. I already know I outkicked my coverage. We don't need to remind.
Treat her right. You need to treat her right.
Yeah. Damn it. Oh, if I cut that out, I'm a bad husband. If I put it in, it's going to be used against me. Oh, man. You really put me in a rock and a hard spot. What an ass.
Well, we've really enjoyed this as a couple. It's been huge for us. And we meet a lot of sailors who are sailing single-hand because their wives don't want any part of it. So we always just feel like, oh, Lord, thank you that we both love it so much. It's been wonderful.
Me and her got certified together. We did it. Well, we got we've been sailing around on a 25-foot 1969 Coronado. It's our third one. For 3 years, but on a lake, big lake, but lots of racing, and the boat that we have is beautiful. I love it, and we fixed it up together, which was cool. But we got certified on a 41-foot Sun Odyssey in Chesapeake Bay. We went out there for like a week together and got like
On the East Coast.
Yeah. We figured, it was like her birthday week, and it'd be nice to get out of Fresno, California, and go to the Chesapeake. And the first place me and my wife ever sailed to was from Norfolk, which they get mad at when you say it like that. It's Norfolk. So we sailed, yeah. Instantly, like, you're not from here, are you? I'm like, no. We sailed from Norfolk to Cape Charles on a Friday. And I think that's just probably the coolest first voyage together ever.
Yeah.
Because they got that bourbon distillery thing there, and I had a great time. Like, I got an empty bottle of Cape Charles bourbon sitting in my master bedroom.
As a reminder.
As a reminder. And now I think everywhere I sail, I take something and bring it home, like my treasure. And I got an old-timey wooden, like it's a chest, but it's not. Like, it doesn't have a rounded top. It's just a black metal square box, beautiful red wood. Iron just ingrained into it, and then it's got this old black padlock with an old black key. And I think everywhere me and my wife go, because we're gonna passage make, we want to sail the whole world kind of thing. And I think everywhere we go, we're gonna get some change in the currency of that country, and we're gonna fill that box up.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fun.
So that's what we want to do.
We like to get things. We like to, especially when we get up north, we like to just go to beaches and walk the beaches. And Donna looks for sea glass, and she makes jewelry. She's got her little jewelry things that she makes as a little hobby, and she gives to her friends. And
My
it's always,
mother-in-law loves sea glass.
Oh, is she?
She's always picking it off the beach in Cambria, in California. She just loves sea glass.
And then
she can give them to friends, different things. You know, she makes up a little, and then writes some nice stuff. I mean, there's some analogies there when you think about the you know what difficulties and trials and being tossed and everything can do. It can refine.